After not being sure whether or not the movie would actually be released, The Flash got its first trailer released this past Super Bowl Sunday, and in this video I'm going to be breaking down the biggest reveals and what you should be most looking forward to. What's up, Nerdgenic Nation? Superhero nerd Aaron Waller here, and there is a lot to unpack with the Flash trailer that just came out. We got a ton of new details on the upcoming movie, so let's just go ahead and jump right into the Speed Force and break it all down. First, let's talk about the story. We pretty much knew that the movie was going to be incorporating some, if not several aspects of the Flashpoint storyline. And that is still somewhat true, though we are missing several details on what's happening. Now, it doesn't seem that they'll be adopting the story of Batman being Thomas Wayne, as we already know that they're using Michael Keaton's Batman from the Tim Burton universe. Nothing really surprising there. But they are still somewhat adapting the storyline of Calle being held in some form of government lab and thus never becoming Superman. The movie will be twisting this story slightly, however, and swapping Calle for his cousin Kara, aka Supergirl. This, in my opinion, is one of the best and most creative ways that they could dance around the Henry Cavill Superman drama and eventual departure and just simply switch it to Supergirl. And in this new timeline, they'll end up needing her help defeating Zod as he comes to Earth since he was never defeated by Superman in Man of Steel. Again, this is another creative way of retconning some things and setting up the future of the DC timeline and ultimately to reset with the new DC Studios timeline. Now, they do mention in the new timeline that there are no metahumans in this trailer, which I found a bit odd, as more often than not, the metahumans that we're aware of essentially have nothing to do with one another in terms of their creation. So wiping them all out or having a story that essentially says that they never existed will be rather interesting. One aspect that I think will be fun for this story, and they are certainly playing at it a few times in the trailer, is the two Barrys. Their dynamic will be something that I think we have yet to see before, as in yet another departure from the Flashpoint comic. There are two Barrys in this timeline rather than just Barry taking over his current body and going with the new reality. So both will somehow end up needing powers, be able to attain them to a degree, and then need to work together in what I can only guess is building up enough speed to access the Speed Force again in order to go back and fix the damage that has been done. Plus, I think two might be needed as they'll have their hands full with Zod and his army while trying to reset the timeline. But then again, one Barry was able to do it while dealing with the Atlantean-Amazonian War in the comics. But I still think that it will be fun to some degree watching Ezra Miller essentially play off of himself, which I think makes sense as it seems to be a pretty difficult task for anyone to do, and it also explains WB's decision to still release this movie and not try to replace him in any capacity. There's not just one Barry, but there's two. He's simply in it just way too much. But now on to what may be the most exciting aspect of this movie, which isn't the title character The Flash, but rather Batman, or should I say both Batmans. Not only will we have Affleck return and seem to have a bluish and grayish suit at some point, but we also get to see him have a bat cycle during a few daylight action scenes, which looks very much like the Tumbler cycle from The Dark Knight, which fans are already speculating at other Batman to be in this movie, but I'm not quite believing it or holding my breath that will even happen. And now onto the Michael Keaton Batman that I mentioned earlier, and I have to say he looks damn good. I almost thought it wasn't Keaton in the suit a few times, but after rewatching, you can definitely tell that is him in the Batsuit. And from the looks of it, he seems to want to help Barry in a much bigger and much more polite way than Thomas Wayne was in the comics, but they could still make him somewhat jaded with his old age of being the Caped Crusader. And in terms of the suit, it looks absolutely phenomenal, and just like an upgrade from the Burtonverse as I would expect that there would be. He even moves a bit like a combination of Affleck and, in my opinion, Val Kilmer's Batman, which I thought was kind of interesting. But they might have just learned their lesson and upgraded the suit since it's been over 30 plus years that this Bruce has been Batman. And there was even a Super Bowl TV spot that showed a very brief look inside the Batcave at a variety of Batsuits that Keaton's Batman has created over the years, including a possible Nightmare or Justice League inspired one with goggles, a mech suit of some kind, and even his own blue and gray style suit. So in summary, and in my humble opinion, I think this trailer showed a lot of the film and gave away some pretty major story points and just overall scenes in general. But that being said, this movie was supposed to initially come out as early as 2018, but after several off-screen issues would eventually get pushed back to a 2022 release date and now a 2023 release date. So maybe in true Barry Allen fashion, they're just trying to make up for lost time and show as much as possible before the movie hits another possible bump in the road and be delayed even further. Thankfully though, I doubt that this will happen as we finally have a release date, actual trailer, posters, and the DCU is ending within the next year anyway, so it was either going to happen or simply be scrapped. But it simply just cost too much and Warner Brothers needed to release it, no matter what issues would end up standing in its way. But with that said, I'm still very excited for this movie and cannot wait to see it. It feels almost a little bittersweet knowing that it's finally coming, unfortunately with quite a bit of baggage, but it is also essentially a sign of the end of something that so many were holding on to so dearly. but at least there is something new on the horizon, so there's hope to some degree. So those are my thoughts on the Flash trailer, and now I want to hear from you in the Nerdgenic community. What did you think of this trailer? Do you think that it showed too much? Are you any more or less excited for this movie? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And while you're down there, be sure to hit like, subscribe, and ring the bell notification so you don't miss out on any future videos from me or the rest of the Nerdgenic team. And also be sure to give us a follow across all social media platforms at Nerdgenic. That way you don't miss out on any special news, announcements, or articles at nerdgenic.com. But in the meantime, if you want even more video content from us, check out my thoughts on the Flash movie tie-in comic, or for a change of pace, check out my Fast X Theory prediction video. Other than that, thank you guys so much for watching, we really do appreciate it, and we hope to see you in the next video.